everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are once again painting for our project Spearhead. Yes, we are here with the Beast-Skewer Killbow, this wonderful little artillery piece for the cruel boys. This is the last bit I need to complete Spearhead Cruel Boys, well, Orc War Clans. So it's been a long time coming, but we're finally getting around to doing this one. So we are going to jump in and we are going to start painting it. Now, it's been primed in Grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Gutrippa Flesh. I'm going to be using this to paint in all of the skin of all of our orcs and goblins. So we're just going to start here on this little cheeky chappy. I'm going to get this all over. And then once that's done, we'll come back. With all that Gutrippa Flesh applied, we're then going to take a roughly 2 parts Wyldwood to 1 part Gore-Grunta Fur mix, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the cloves. And so with that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Wyldwood and Black Templar, and we're going to apply this over the top of the big heavy wooden features of the Killbow. Now we're not going to be doing this over things like the arrows or the axe handle or anything like that. You know, this bit here. I guess it's the crank handle that looks like an axe. We're just going for the big heavy set frame. And with that all done, we're then going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur. And we're going to apply this over a couple of different areas, but it's mostly the same sort of stuff. So we're going to apply this over top of this kind of leather string here on the Killbow. Like that. We've got another one across the top, but we're also going to apply the Gore-Grunta Fur over the top of any of the kind of wraps and rope on the crew, but not the actual large stuff going on the bow itself. So we're looking for belts and straps basically. With all of that Gore-Grunta Fur applied, we're then going to take Cygor Brown, and we're going to apply this over the top of the leather of the quiver. With that all done, we're then going to take some skeleton horde. I'm going to apply this over top of the bowstrings. And with that skeleton horde applied, we're then going to take Blood Angel's Red. I'm going to apply this over the top of the tummy armour of the Orruk. With that then done, we're going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over the top of the bow arms. And with that done, we're then going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey. I'm going to use this over the top of the arrow hafts. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the remaining details. Now there are going to be some different metallics, but the Iron Warriors will just act as a lovely base for those as and when we get to them. For now, I'm just going to apply this over the top of everything, and then once that's done, we'll come back. With all of that Iron Warriors now applied, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass. And we're going to use this to now create that variation we were talking about in all the silver. So, one of the first places we're going to start is actually on the shoulders of our Orruk. Apply this all over the top of this. Just excluding those little spikes. What we also want to do here is we want to pick out things like bolts and kind of braces on the actual Killbow itself. So things like this large one here. And really, this can be kind of up to you how much of this you do, or how little. You could do none of this. The choice is, of course, yours. So with that done, it's now time to add some shades. So, first of these is going to be some Reikland Fleshshade. And we're going to use this to shade all of their clothes. With all that Reikland Fleshshade applied, we're then going to take Biel-Tan Green. I'm going to use this to shade all of the flesh. With all that Biel-Tan Green applied, we're then going to take some Nuln Oil. We're going to use this to shade all the silver. With that all done, we're then going to take some Fyreslayer Flesh. I'm going to use this to shade the Runelord Brass. So with that all done, our Beast-Skewer Killbow is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. However, of course, we're not going to leave it there. We're going to take it to the next level. And we're going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, first of these is going to be some thinned down Deepkin Flesh. And we're going to use this to highlight the skin of our Aurochs and Goblins. So with that then done, we're going to take a tiny amount of Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to pick out all the eyes. And with that Evil Sunz Scarlet applied, we then want to take a tiny amount of Screaming Skull. I'm going to use this to pick out all the teeth. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Karak Stone. I'm going to use this to do lots and lots of different highlights. So we're going to use this to highlight all of the clothes. Just like this. But what we're also going to do, I'm just going to use the Karak Stone to add little spot highlights to the wood. It's a little bit heavy there. Just wash the brush. And just rub it off. But as well as the heavy wood, we're also going to use this to highlight the bow arms that we did with Wyldwood. Like that. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Fire Dragon Bright. I'm going to use this to highlight the red. And with that then done, we're going to take some thinned down Iron Hand Steel. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. With all of that Iron Hand steel now applied, we're actually going to apply our final highlight, which is going to be some thinned down Sycorax Bronze. We use this to highlight all of the Runelord Brass. With that Sycorax Bronze applied, our Killbow is now finished. I think it looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is going to very quickly work on the base. I'm going to start off by taking some Cygor Brown. I'm going to use this over top of all of the loose soil. And with all that Cygor Brown applied, we're then going to take some black Templar. I'm going to apply this over the top of all the rocks. With that then done, I'm going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur. I'm going to apply this over top of the little ropes. Just down here. With that Gore-Grunta Fur applied, we then want to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I want to apply this over the top of the chain. So that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Stirland Mud. I'm going to apply this over the top of all the negative space. However, one thing that we're going to do slightly differently here is around this section. So we're going to put a big old blob of our swampy base. So what we want to do is basically fill up this entire section with the Stirland Mud, like this. Push it right up to the sculpted details of the base. Like that. And then we're just going to basically scrape it flat. Like that, to create a little pool. With that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Dark Angel's Green and we're going to apply this in that gap. But what we will also do is apply the Dark Angel's Green inside these little footprints. Like that. And so with that done, we then want to take some Nurgle's Rot. And we want to apply this over the top of the Dark Angel's Green. Now the more you use, the more violently green it's going to look. Whereas the less you use, the more it kind of seeps away. See? Kind of like that. And with that Nurgle's Rot applied, we're then going to take some Tyrant Skull. We're going to dry brush this over the top of the entirety of the base. And with that base now complete, our Beast-Skewer Killbow is finished, as is Spearhead Orruk Warclans, which is super fun. See? Project Spearhead, it's the best fun I've had for a very long time painting Warhammer. Just kind of doing all these little bits and pieces here and there that need finishing up. And, you know, I'm getting some really, really cool models out of it. So I'm really, really enjoying myself at the moment, I have to say. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.